Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. I just did a remodel on the garage, so a lot of things were unhooked and a lot of things were moved. So hopefully everything looks okay. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. But today we're going to be looking at Harbor Freight's new tools that they've recently released. I like to do these videos every 3 or 4 weeks. I try to do my best. But we start at the top of the list with the newest items, and the further you go down, the older the items get. But we basically start at the top and go to where we started the previous video that we did. So they do have quite a few new items and quite a few interesting ones. So I really hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe also. I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year. So let's go ahead and get into these new items. The first couple items that we're looking at are a couple of Braun ones. And if you guys follow my channel and seen these videos, you guys already know Harbor Freight is constantly releasing new and upgraded lights of all sorts, and Braun is like their main light brand, and they're constantly releasing new lights. So here we have a $13 500 lumen professional swivel headlamp, get up to 490 feet of beam distance, 500 lumens, a flood mode for a wide area lighting or a spotlight mode for precise lighting, twist zoom, durable 2-point head strap. Batteries included, yes. Runtime on a full charge is 11 hours, and batteries required are 3 AAA batteries. Not bad for $13, but I try and stay away from anything that's not rechargeable now. It's kind of annoying constantly putting new batteries in flashlights and other items. So this is another cheap one, $8 for the 250 lumen folding LED work light. This is just a very cheap, inexpensive light. Another one that I don't believe is rechargeable, but this is like a flash. This could be handy for anybody. But if you're working long hours, then I suggest something rechargeable. This is something that, like, I keep a few of these on hand at all times just in case my rechargeable ones, for any reason, all 10 of them die. But I also use them for camping. These are the ones that I usually give to my son when he needs a flashlight, because if he breaks it or loses it, I'm not going to be upset about it. So this one, 250 lumens, not the brightest, but it is a nice little area work light with a hook, magnet, angle stand, so you can see it there. So not bad for $8. But the first interesting one up is Icon's new release for their ratcheting retaining ring pliers. And Icon had a set out that I believe was made in the USA, discontinued or just disappeared almost immediately. Then they also have their China or Taiwan set that's still available and has been available. I'm not sure if they have. I think they already had maybe two sets. Let me know if any of you guys know down in the comments. I believe they already had 2 sets available. I know of one for sure. This seems like a really nice set. It is $90, but it is also made in the USA. And most of the times I would recommend just getting a full set of snap ring pliers, just because I don't like the ones with the interchangeable head. But what I mean by that is their cheap set that's just that push pin, the spring-loaded little push pin that holds the heads on. I don't care for that. There's a lot of play in those, as well as you try and get in a tight spot, you hit that thing, and then that pin launches out. Not fun. I don't care too much for that style. If you hardly ever deal with snap rings and you just need a super cheap set around, that multi-head one might be okay. I'm okay with this interchangeable head design. This is a much more durable, well thought out design. So just quickly looking at the image a little bit closer, you have set screws for all of the different tips that you have available. So you have internal and external and different angles and sizes for these tips. And I like that they physically screw in. They're not little, quick change. They're not super quick to change like the other one. Still pretty quick. But I like that design there. You can see it a little bit closer. It does say, even on the tips, USA, and then on the pliers themselves, they do state USA down there as well. Now, one thing I will say, if you don't keep it in this case, definitely find somewhere safe for those tips and those screws so you don't misplace those. And I like the fact that this is a ratcheting set. Just a little bit of information on here. If you guys would like to pause and read that, you may do so. I'm not going to go over all of it. So I thought that was a nice addition. Hopefully these ones stick around for a while. Next up is something I don't have any experience with, but I'm going to mention it real quickly. This is $70. It's the Doyle Premium Oiler Bucket Kit, and this is used for a specific type of tooling. So you can continuously oil while you cut, and then it catches the metal shavings and separates them from the oil to keep everything cool and operating correctly. I've never used one, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that will get use out of this. It compares it to the Rigid at $331. So if you guys have any experience with a tool like this or an accessory for your tool, let me know your guys' thoughts on this compared to maybe some of the other ones on the market, because honestly, I don't have any experience with this, but there's the information that they provide on it. Next up is a new pair of pliers from Icon. This is the 11-inch high leverage diagonal side cutters. When it comes to side cutters, it's going to be one or the other. If you're a DIY or weekend warrior that just uses them every once in a while, they're probably going to be just fine for you. But there are also people out there that go and buy things that, they expect, Icon is their top of the line stuff. But when it comes to diagonal side cutters, sometimes these things can get used and abused. This is a high leverage, so this one also has extra length to it. So there are some people out there that will push diagonal side cutters to the limit. So we'll see how these hold up. Hopefully we hear good things, because at $25 for an 11-inch pair, that could be a great buy, because I've owned some high leverage ones in the past, China ones and the Taiwans, not great. Not great. So I'm really hoping to hear good things about this set, because they're not as commonly found as some other styles of pliers. So to see a new release from Icon with the 11-inch diagonal side cutters is nice to see. So hopefully we hear good things about them. If you guys have experience with their standard size diagonal side cutters, let me know what your guys' experiences have been with them. Next up, we have a couple more Hercules oscillating multi-tool bits, or blades, I should say. They released quite a few over the last couple months, so just a couple more added to the lineup. Over here is a 6.5-inch flush cut saw. Here we have more electrical connector options. I'm not sure if Harbor Freight carried these before. I believe they did, but I could be wrong. Maybe this is just a larger assortment of these connections. This is a 1,200 piece for $10. That doesn't seem like a terrible deal. Then they have their tap splices, a 50-piece set for $7. Was originally $9. Here they have a 40-pound pressurized soda blaster for $140. I've used sand blasters. Haven't used a pressurized soda blaster before, though. Environmentally friendly, chemical-free stripping and surface prep. This soda blaster uses non-abrasive sodium bicarbonate that won't leave behind harmful toxins and scratches in the surfaces. Not something I have experience with. So if you guys have used one, let me know what you guys typically use them for. And then they released a bunch of different pads made by Grants. This is available in multiple different sizes and cuts. They got heavy cuts, compound foam pads, finishing pads, polishing pads, and you can get them all in 3-inch, 5-inch, and 6-inch. So quite a good selection of pads available now. They have a new Bauer 3000 PSI 1.1 gallon brushless max performance electric pressure washer at $350. That's an okay deal. A little bit lower on the gallon per minute. But I mean, if you're just buying one for, maybe cleaning your driveway or maybe some siding or your fence or something like that, like it's going to be something that you just kind of want to have on hand for those couple jobs that you may do. There are probably a little bit better options out there for less than $350, but let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys have any experience with pressure washers, is this one that you would consider? Here they have another one. This is the 2300 PSI 1.2 gallon. And then here's the 2000 at $200. So, I mean, this is just their newest, maybe larger release when it comes to their brushless max electric pressure washers. And then here's something we've been waiting on since the SEMA show, where they announced Predator would be doing their power stations, which I am happy to hear, because Predator makes some good generators, and I know quite a few people that use them on a regular basis. Very, very popular brand and priced really well for what you get. This is the Predator 350 power station, 350 running watts, 294 watt-hour battery capacity. I have, maybe 5 different power stations. So this is a little bit smaller power station. I've had one, roughly this size, and it's great. Depending on what you're using it for. No, you're not going to be running anything large for it. This is going to be, good for charging your laptop, your phones, your tablets, things like that. This isn't going to be great for running power tools or anything like this. This is the starting out of the Predator power station. I'm sure we're going to see much larger units coming, but power stations are an extremely handy thing to have around. Whether you're just going to be using them for home backup, secondary power supplies, whether you're using them for maybe your job, maybe your mobile work job, or maybe you travel a lot, RV, camping, anything like that. There's so many different situations. These are fantastic for emergency situations, power outages, just a great thing to have on hand. And I don't think $200 for this little guy is too bad at all. The Sea Predator, which has grown to be a pretty reliable name when it comes to generators. Hopefully they've worked out all the kinks and everything and have provided us with a good quality product. I think this could be a huge hit if they're able to keep their pricing very competitive. This power station does have a lithium iron phosphate battery that delivers over 3,500 charge cycles for 10 years of daily use. That's what I like to see, the LiFePO4 battery being used. They have a long, safe lifespan, so that's nice to see. Here you guys can read some of this information down here if you would like. They state all of the outputs that they have: 2 AC outputs, a USB-C, a USB-A, 2 USB-As, and a 12-volt DC. They don't mention anything about the amp rating on the 12-volt. I'm sure it's a little bit lower. It's a smaller power station. It doesn't state whether the USB-As or Cs are 18-watt and 100-watt or what those are at. It allows pass-through charging, which is basically something that should be mandatory on power stations. Pure sine wave inverter, 5 charging methods: solar, car, or DC, AC, USB-C, and a combination of AC and USB-C. So it is nice to see that it is capable of dual or combination charging, even though it is kind of their starter power station into their lineup that we're going to see, I'm sure. Here are some of the things that's commonly powered with a power station this size. Here are the charge times depending on what you charge it with. And maybe I'll do a review on one of these in the future as well. Then Bauer has released their 20-volt brushless cordless 5-inch pruning saw. These things are always handy. A lot of brands carry them now. They started out, just 1 or 2 brands had them, and then those no-name brands started producing them, and now we're starting to see them from almost every brand, and these things can be fantastic. Maybe you're not looking at getting a chainsaw and cutting down, a full tree, but maybe you just need to clean up, some branches hanging over your fence or, something small like that. These little pruning saws can be fantastic. So if you're already running the Bauer lineup, I don't think this is a bad deal at all for $60. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. And I believe that is where we started the previous video. So some pretty interesting items, not a whole lot of items in this video, but some good items. The pruning saw, the power station from Predator, Performance electric pressure washer, Icon's new high leverage diagonal side cutters, and their USA made rationing snap ring pliers. So definitely some good items this time around. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys have any experience with some of these items that have already been out probably a couple weeks now. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.